I'm sure you can explain the currency problem, but let's go to Tony first.
What would you like me to explain?
The difference between the Chinese money and the American money.
Well, I think what you really want is the why is the exchange rate what it is. Obviously, exchange rates are in many ways influenced by the governments of the respective countries, and the Chinese have done things to make sure that their currency does not shoot into the sky. Now, obviously, Chinese costs of production are much lower than either European or North American ones, and if they could, if their competitors could get their value of their currency to rise, some of that advantage would disappear. The Chinese government, in turn, has been making sure that this does not happen. So what you have are people who argue that Chinese currency is underpriced. They're the Chinese who are very careful about it and are certainly not rushing forth to allow their currency to rise. And there are all these people who are complaining on television, on both sides.
Okay, Kimon, please.
Well, the whole issue of currency between China and the US illustrates something that I've always argued at Wednesday night and elsewhere, that the public has it all wrong. The idea is not to have a very high currency. The idea is to have a low currency, or at least a currency that is reasonable. But whenever people use, and I've said that many times, a strong dollar and a weak dollar, they're missing the point. The Chinese don't mind having a weak currency. On the contrary, they like it. And I think the same applies for the Eurozone. A euro at par with the US would be wonderful for Europe, in my view. Of course, it would mean less imports from European to non-European areas, but that's a good thing for Europe. That's a good thing for Europe because the euro is overvalued, and it's overvalued vis-a-vis the US dollar, but because the Chinese currency is linked to the US dollar, it's also highly overvalued with the Chinese currency. So the general point I'm making is let's not get fixed on the idea that the higher the currency, the better. That's not the case at all.